ULTI.TV.
Apologies for that, putting on the wrong headset. We have Yaka here versus Heidelbärchen in the women's division here at xEUCF 2021. Yaka with a turnover from a bit of a miscommunique, turning into their first point on the board, and it is a break of score to the team from France. So, delighted to be bringing you action once again from the fields here in Bruges. It's been a rather blustery, windy day. It's had a little bit of rain here and there, although right now, as the sun sets here in Belgium, it's actually a really nice conditions to play a game of Ultimate all of a sudden. So Heidelbärchen missing some of their stronger roster spots, perhaps due to the fact that Colorado are playing at this tournament. So the Karlsruhe ladies not enforced, but as Aline Mondieu rips up the pull. Gordillo. Tanya. Nice movement here from Heidelbärchen. They look to put their first one on the board, but it's a throw out of bounds. The intended target, the number 19 of Ufima Hook. Mondieu is going to bring us back in play. Rasta, one of the captains. Long-time player for Yaka, who've been bolstered again by the presence of some of their European friends, who we'll talk more about later. Rietschoten with a big arm. Oh, that is a beautiful grab, and immediately puts it. It's a bit of a hospital pass. It's going to sit and hang, and it's taken down very handily. Great read amongst the pack. So that is 2 breaks of score right out the bat for Yaka, 2-0. And I'm now finally joined by the lovely Stefan Rapazzo.
Oh,
welcome.
That's so kind of you for that introduction, Hannah. It's lovely to be here. Lovely to see that the team from Noisy-le-Sec is up 2-0 without any bias, of course. It's nice to see. Representing Noisy-le-Sec myself right now. We just came off a field on field 11 with their male counterparts and came away with a win, so it was nice. But how are we doing here? What's looking?
Well, Heidelbärchen had a early error to catch you up, Steph, because you've been sauntering over, running like a, what's it? The Chariots of Fire music playing in the background. Oh, and that's an interesting pull that's gone straight through the tripod and narrowly missed our cameraman. Yeah, that was different.
Interesting pull.
It's all happening here, but the sun is setting. It's no longer crazy windy and rainy and cloudy. It's actually turned into a beautiful, pleasant evening. And what a perfect opportunity to watch this game between these two teams. So, Bartin, I take the back. Oh, what a flick that was. Just sailing over the defender's head. Quick, early movement from Heidelbärchen, and that is their first point on the board.
And she gets turned around there, number 21. For Yaka, got a little bit inside out. Didn't see that one coming. She was in position, actually, but eyes were never on the disc. And that's Cécile Munier And that one goes in for Heidelbärchen, and she's on the board. And we're just getting ourselves set up here. We do have a special guest, Rico Becker, one of my captains on the Noisy-le-Sec team, but obviously a player who has a lot of experience and knows Yaka very well. So he'll be with us in just a moment.
We will look forward to sliding him in here and there for some pearls of insight and wisdom. But we'll save that. We'll save it for a little bit later down the line. Because people are only just adjusting, Stefan, to the fact that you've arrived, and that is majorly exciting. So, here from me, Mondiaux puts up a huck far side. It's going to be just blocked out the way. Bringel, the intended target. A little bit of a chat there. Gordillo perhaps got a bit too much of a piece of the body on the way through.
So she's called the foul there. Went off the hand. She did put her left elbow up there. Ines Bringel did to get some separation, but she called the foul. But it was a dropped disc, and the contact wasn't on the catching hand. But contact is contact, so let's see how they resolve this one. No contest.
So possession will stay with Yaka. Gordillo, the well, we talked about this, not ex-champion, junior champion swimmer was Gordillo. Gordillo. Mm-hmm.
A junior champion swimmer. I wonder what her event was.
She was in the mixer, but actually it looks like the contact was with number 30. But hey ho, Mondiaux, centre of the field, surveying the options. Nice toss to Paul Labas, and straight in to the one and only Charlene Crosnier.
Great celebration there by Paula Bass, the Dutch import, but a regular on this Yaka squad, of course.
Well, it's an interesting one because those who haven't been keeping track or maybe looking at the nationalities of the players on Yaka might not be aware of the fact that they're not really pickups at this point. They've got the Yaka Americans, although this year only, of course, Robin Fennick. How could her name slip my mind?
I don't
Making
know.
the trip across the pond, although we're absolutely delighted to have her.
So, Rico, you're here. Tell us about this Noisy-le-Sec team. Tell us a little bit about Noisy-le-Sec itself, maybe, and the program that's running over there.
It's been a long time since Noisy-le-Sec has been existing. At the start, it was only the women on one side and the guys on the other side, and then those two teams decided to join to make really one club. But with keeping in mind that both of the women and the men should perform.
We'll get more from Rico in a second.
We certainly shall. So Heidelbärchen looking to center the pool. Oh, nearly streaking through the legs. Nearly getting the block straight out of the blocks. But Heidelbärchen with the disc. Putting it back. Doesn't like the look of the undercut. Little head tilt there to get the number 4. Wagner underway. Nice pop back. Already over Müller, who actually is just moved from Australia to join this team.
Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Yaka doing a very nice job on the unders here. Heidelbärchen are only going backwards, it seems, since they've started this possession. The unders are very well protected. Let's see if they can get some passes strung together. They've gone the other way.
Oh, and that's what they were hoping to do, I think. Yaka lost a little bit of focus in their first game over Flowers. They did win it quite comprehensively. However, in the last couple of points, they lost a little bit of focus. They dropped a couple of points. They just felt like they should have put the game to bed a little bit earlier. So we know coming into this one, they want to come out with focus. They want to come out strong and execute their systems. But I think what they're trying to do, Stefan, is just take away the undershots completely. To see an unforced error there. Just not able to get her hand around it.
Simply shooting themselves in the foot with these unforced. They had lots of space. They were trying to rush it out the front door just a little quick there.
So Müller getting us back underway. Once again, picking up the disc. And then nice giving and going. Doesn't like the continuation. Shows it a beautiful inside, but it just pings off the hands of the intended target. That is so dismay. Trying to find Bergman, but just not to be. So back in the action. Chassigneau puts it big. Wiseman with an easy grab. Oh, and what a lovely put out in front, but it's just a bit too much for Melina Dabin.
Lovely seemed the word to me too. It looked well weighted when it left her hand. The defender was blind to it. It looked there, but receiver just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, Melina not able to quite chase that one down, but perhaps by the fact that she's perhaps slightly newer to the Yaka side, hasn't played with Robin as much, certainly not during this weird short season we've been having. Lulu again, looking a little bit lost for options, the smothering coverage from Yaka, and it's just a big put to nobody.
Hakken D, not the most effective way about it. Who's going to control this this conversion line out there, Rico? Who's going to take control here to make this Yaka line score?
I think Robin is their primary weapon, and behind you have Alexia and Jan, who've been playing together since they were like young girls. It's been 10 years almost. So I think they're going to enter behind, and then you're going to have Robin take the disc and make a big shot.
Let's see how that goes, Hannah.
That's a big old mark on quite a small player over there. Michon. Disc going up. It's a big shot from Weiss. And that one is much better. Nice sinker and well read.
So Knudsen on the receiving end from a Fenning Huck, put into play by Chassigneau. So Rico was kind of on the money there, Rico. 1 for 1 in your commentating debut, not bad.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Steph.
And while we've got you, tell us a little bit more about the Yaka squad. Of course, you know them best here. You've you're a Parisian, but have bounced back and forth between Chak and Isno, the West Coast, and back to the Central. But tell us about a few of the key players here, maybe. Who do we got to keep our eye on? You gave us a little bit of input, but give us some more.
Of course, Rasta is the main player of Yaka. She's been supporting Yaka from the beginning, and she's the main captain, and she can do everything with the disc, so watch out for her. You have Nanu also, who is main captain and an important person of the Yaka team. And on this line, I also want to look to my sister, actually, Elise, who is running really fast and is one of the most biggest defender on the line.
All right.
So tight, close defense from Yaka once again. Gordillo looks upfield. You can see how she's trying to move the marks around. But just really great containment here from Yaka. Krishna puts it up. It's going to sit and hang, but again, it's just way too far. Heidelbärchen being baited into throwing big, long shots is just a huck it and hope strategy.
Yeah, their shots are poorly chosen right now. They're basically get out of jail cards. They're getting tired. They're not seeing options, and they're putting it deep with little hope. With little hope, but getting the field possession and putting the Yaka back in their own end zone. It's not looking good.
Not great, no. Although I misspoke earlier, it was Heidelbärchen that played against Flowers earlier today, and they lost that game, whereas Yaka, beat Box 15-8 from Vienna. So, Nanu, far sideline. Nice around Bringel. For the Portuguese contingent. Not many Portuguese players on Yaka, but they have the one. The fellow Eurostar got past you, Aline
Austrian
Monbiot.
contingent now.
Indeed. Big shot going down my field. And is that just over the goal line? Kafi Afonso with the goal.
Sorry, that wasn't Austrian contingent. That may have been Russian contingent. I was thinking about Kathy Meisel, who's the ex-Austrian player now living in Belgium playing for Yaka. But they've got a very international squad here. They don't mind taking a couple pickups. What would you say the portion of Noisy-le-Sec versus pickup players is, Rico?
I would say maybe half. But actually, this is not Yaka who want them to come. That's the players who came to Yaka for playing. A lot of players ask Yaka to be part of the team. That's pretty amazing, I guess.
You can't really say they're pickups. It's not just a random, they're just picking people up from here and just shoveling them into the team on a random basis, is it? That's the great thing. It's got such a pull. It's such an established team at this point. Really? So many people are saying that this is their tournament to lose.
But I picked them earlier on my way in. It's easy to pick the hometown, the team that trains across the field. But at the same time, like calling them pickups or not, I see this team train, and it's a very different looking team on the week-to-week basis. It's half of this squad, of course. So pickups or not, they're additions, permanent additions, temporary additions, whatever you want to call them. It is a collection of people that are magnetized to this club.
Oh, I like that. Magnetized indeed. But it goes to show, I think, how well the team is managed, that you're able to pull those people. And some of them are very, very good and used to putting a team completely on their back. How do you bring those people in? Oh, what a run through D. Gorgeous stuff from Delaval. No, not Delaval. That's Matthias.
And then give it right back away. It was a beautiful D. Preservation of greatness there by the team. They've given it right back. Let's see what Heidelbärchen does here.
Trying to isolate Müller, the captain. So I take the back, that's Schuck. Oh, what a sensational grab.
Sticky fingers.
Snatching it down. Mona Schuck. Probably one of the top of the line. Oh, nice grab from the captain, Anja Fulber. Just moving it around the handle set. Again, Yaka just denying Heidelbärchen pretty much any yards upfield.
Even there, like looking up to the front of the stack, Chassignon just had it so covered, and the only thing she could do is go back to the dump position.
Yeah, need a little bit more movement from the downfield. Nice work there. A little bit of switching from Yaka as well, so even when they are working really hard, as Schuck goes completely sliding to the ground. Beautiful break around. Nice.
There's the gainer.
Oh, Schuck is pulling all of the duty in the world. Fulbert, far side. Just moving it around. This is good progress, but slowly nibbling away at the distance to the goal line.
Pick has been called.
Solid use of hand signals. All about that.
I must give great commendation to the tournament organizers, doing such a wonderful job. The delivery of libations, making sure everybody is well refreshed, and this game commentary is at its top level as per usual here on ULTI.TV. But a big shout out to the tournament organization.
Yeah, Bruges.
So
not sponsoring us, sadly.
Sophie Rompelt made the big play there. She had the upfield grab, and she's right back in at number 77. Let's see if she can help get this one in.
Schuck is going to have to put a disc again into negative space. But really, Mona Schuck is just opening everything up here. Rumpelt looks around for Fulbert, who just had a little flash of the hand as she tries to make the bid, but unable to. Immediately off to the races. Go Yaka. Again, just slightly out of reach.
Kathy Meisel fires the missile. It's a bit too much missile from the Meisel, and that one goes just sailing over the head of Daban. So, Rico, quickly, number 80 on this team, a very young lady. Aman, tell us about, she's how old is she? How long has she been playing?
Oh, I think she's 18-year-old, and she's been trained and formed in Isno with the Yaka team. So we're really proud of that she's competing now.
More than 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, it's been 3 or 4 years. Yeah, I guess maybe 5.
Well, we have a Heidelbärchen player of our own that's a young one, but we'll talk about her in just a second, as they're on the goal line for the potential second score of the game, and a timeout being called by the captain. Doesn't like the options in front of her, just wants to get a bit more structure perhaps.
And we all know the potential for the time over, or do you call it a turnout? Hannah, what's your
like
preferred nomenclature?
I like the turnout.
The timeout that turns into the turnover. Okay, the timeout on the goal line. They are, I don't know, I understand it in this situation. She was miles ahead of her teammate, but she did have people charging. They're giving Yaka such a chance to set up a strong defense, especially with them having themselves on the sideline. They're in a corner. I don't know if I support this call this timeout. I think it will be a turnover.
The key piece of information we need to know, what's the stall count? That's the thing. You've got Yaka that are going to be able to set in the perfect defense because they're going to get a look at the way you're set up as your offense. They're going to counter it perfectly. And then you're going to need to at least, maybe reset it once. That's my call. But in terms of, I did give you a little flash of a fact. So Euphemia Hulk for the Heidelbärchen team. So this is her first ever international tournament. So we're talking about young players coming up through the ranks. Then Euphemia is, she's playing for the under-20 team, even though she's actually eligible to play. She's under 18. Wow. They didn't tell me how old she was, though. It's a secret.
Just young, but old enough to play.
Yeah, she's very fresh-faced. She's got fixed appliance braces. It's a look. I had to do that twice, so I respect that.
Did you ever wear braces, Rico?
Yeah, sadly, yeah. It was not a good year for me,
How old were you?
I was, I think, 14 or 15. Maybe it was, it's called college in France. But it was not a good time. I had a few miss-out with the ladies.
You've matured nicely, of course. Hannah and you, was it in your prime teenage years or what?
So I had fixed appliances twice. I had them when I was 13 and when I was 18 to 19. Oof. So I had them at university as a fresher.
Well,
so it was fun.
That is rough, but I did set my face on fire the day before my first day of university, but we'll talk about that one later. But it affected me maybe just as much as having braces, maybe worse.
I think probably, yes. So Folbert with the disc. Can she get a reset out of her team? No, she's going to go for the goal, and she gets it. Heidelbärchen putting their second point on the board, but Yaka still looking pretty comfortable with a 3-point cushion.
Pretty good. They proved us wrong. They made the timeout work. But that took Heidelbärchen, I would estimate, over 20 passes. Maybe pushing 30 to get that the length of the field. If they're going to have to work that hard to put in a goal, they're not going to get very many of them.
And they're going to get real tired, is the thing. That's the other side. When you're really having to grind so hard to surmount your opposition and get those goals in, you're going to start to really lose energy. You want an O-line that can come on, they can do their thing, execute, and then have a rest and let the D-line have a crack.
Come to the party, dominate the party, leave the party. So, Rico, Rasta, the heart and soul, Aline Mondiaux. Everybody on ULTI.TV has heard a lot about her. Tell us a little bit of the inner workings. What does she do around, how does she run the club? Tell us a little bit about Aline Mondiaux and how she keeps this club in top form.
She is really invested in training, in forming young girls to be good at ultimate. So she do both actually. She train young people to become better, and she also wants to be a top team in Europe and even in international. So she worked both ways.
Okay, Rasta, we'll get more about her. We always love hearing about her, but as we're into play, Hannah will take us through it.
Well, we've got a triplets of Euro stars in the center of the field right now. Mondiaux, Bringel, and Bas. All three of them having played for that team. Talking about inspiring young players. I'm actually wearing a Eurostar shirt under my many layers because it's been really cold today. But Bringel working beautifully with Mondiaux. Just little nibbles. The give goes, the movements through.
That Eurostar shirt's not there unless I see it. It's a lie.
I'll take some layers off you in a minute. Woo! Bertin dishes it back to Mondiaux and goes straight for it, and that is the goal. Nice and easy. So what are we talking about? Efficient offense, or what?
And we talk about 20 passes going one way, but looking very difficult, and 20 ding, very easy looking this way. The goal scorer there, Blandine Bertin. Well, she came from where? She's not a rookie, but she wasn't around last year.
She's French, and she started with Rasta like 10 years ago. She was a player, and she stopped playing 4 years ago, I guess. She was not in Cincinnati, but she wanted to train again after hard 2 years of confinement. She wanted to play again and make tournament. So it's a well-known connection, Rasta and Blandine Bertin. It's nice to see it again.
Like I said, I didn't really recognize her. She's one who I have seen at training. She is in Noisy-le-Sec. She shows up at the fields every week, and she seems like a very hard worker. She's a very focused, put her head down kind of player, and that kind of focus paying off now.
So I have a question for you chaps. Because I asked this of one of the coaches, Wendy. What's your favourite thing about Yaka? So think on it.
Okay.
After this next point, we're going to come back to you. What's your favourite thing about Yaka, being around it, a part of it, adjacent to it?
Good
Like,
question. Very
Prochaine de Yaka.
vague in general, but we've got to come up with something crafty for this, or else we're going to hear about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to have to come up with something crafty. It's definitely Heidelbärchen, who are trailing by 4 points at this stage. Fulbert with the disc. We're now starting to see a bit of a zony look, maybe saggy look from Yaka right now. What do you think of this look?
I like it. I like, especially a team in the lead, I like them to come out and change the option as soon as every time Heidelbärchen gets broke, they talk about how to fix it based on the defense they last saw, and then they see something different and they're broken again, just like that.
Well, I'll tell you what about breaking, a heartbreaking sort of miscue there from Carolina Gordillo. As you see, fast work from Yaka, just punching it straight in for the next goal.
So nice looking work there by Yaka. They're taking this one away, 7-2, opening up the score. That goal there came from Matias, Clara Matias. Rico, we're going to keep going back to you for this player information. Tell us about Claire Matias.
She was a young player. She started playing only Ultimate, I guess. She made her classes by under 17 and under 20, and then she joined Yaka 5 years ago, I guess, and she trained with Yaka ever since. And she's now playing with mixed French team, and she's gonna come to World Games selection. So it's quite an important player.
She's gunning for it then. And how old is she? Approximately.
I would say 24, maybe.
So still a young player, but not a junior.
We're getting underway with this next point. Heidelbärchen now really needs to find something a bit more magical. We're still seeing a lot of moving through the handlers. They're doing a great job though. Müller at the back there. Moves it over. Lutz. You see 4 players clustered around the disc playing against this Yaka zone, but now getting some movement, momentum down this near side. The Aussie import looking around. Nice break into the center of the field. Really interesting run pace. Doesn't seem to be interested in catching with 2 hands.
So the Aussie import, Eva Müller, I can't believe I didn't recognize her. She played in Brisbane for 3 or 4. She's played on my team before.
It's a joy, isn't it? When
yes,
you're like, I know
I was
you.
like, oh my God, you said the Aussie. I was like, who's that? And it's Eva Müller. Her older brother Linus Müller was part of the Mammoth team that went on to win their first national championship for Brisbane. Goodness gracious, what a small world.
Well, that is ultimate for you in this page. Janina going to put it up there, but just bobbles off the hands of the intended target. I think that's Vicky, actually, that was... she's not playing so well in front of her brother, maybe.
Nah.
Bit of an it's an uncharacteristic drop for all of the players at European Championship
Certainly
level.
a Becker.
Oh, that is a really nice put. Can it be run down? No. There's a lot of effort going into that deep cut, but just a little bit too soon. Hoffman trying to run it down, but just you could tell the way she was looking over the shoulder. The body language wasn't on. She just needed to put her head down and put the burners on.
She had the step, but the separation was there, and LeBourne was gaining a little bit of ground, but not quite enough, but the throw just too far in front. Never going to be caught up, and now Yaka back into gear for the break.
So Bus getting us underway. Playing on a stress fracture in her foot. Can't walk, but can run. But a miscued there. Just a little bit too much spice in that disc. So a short field opportunity for Heidelbärchen. Could this be their next goal? Isolation play, the name of the game, but a bit of miscommunication coming through from the back.
Rumplet. gets herself the disc again there. She's been impressing since I've arrived.
Yeah.
She was the first to get the gainer on that point, the 30 pass point. She got the first 20-meter gainer. She's getting herself open in these end zone sets here. Let's see what she does with it.
Well, she is technically on sort of semi-home soil. Rompelt has a Belgian passport, and that is some nice connections just shy of the goal line and hitting it into the end zone. So another point on the board for Heidelbärchen. But yeah, Rompelt has she's South African with a Belgian passport. What a strange connection.
South African, Belgian passport. They've got their Aussie import here, who is German. She's not. Ava is a German player. She's been in Australia for a long time. Do we have any other pickups here that we know? Pickups, foreign players, external players, whatever you want to call them. And tell me a bit about Heidelbärchen. That's not the name of a city. Is this like the old Heidi's Club? Is it from near there? What do we know about their locale, Hannah?
Well, it is a fusion of the female matching players from Heidelberg and Karlsruhe. So a lot.
And what? Say that one again.
Oh God! Don't make me say it twice. Karlsruhe.
Oh, that sounded perfect. I think.
Well, it's been a long. I'm really feeling it this tournament. It's been a long time since I've said anything in German or anything in French, and my accent in French is kind of nailed into my brain from childhood. I can't remember any vocabulary, mind you, but my German pronunciation needs a little bit of refreshing. But we've had lots of German action on the stream this afternoon. I think this is the 4th game in a row we have had a German team. So clearly, strong contingent here at the fields.
Quickly, Jinx Frisbee. Who won that game?
Jinx Frisbee. You have to watch it back.
Okay,
Don't ruin it for the people that haven't watched it.
I will.
They've managed to catch this one. Because, of course, some people have been working today. The fools!
No spoilers. You got to tell me after, though.
Oh, yeah, we will. We will. Chassigneau. Nice movement here from the patience of the Yaka side. They can be patient. They can afford to do it. They don't need to take any big shots against the Heidelbärchen's zone look. One can't help but think that maybe Heidelbärchen are putting on a zone to save their legs a little. They do have a pretty big roster. They've taken everyone, so they are missing some of their Colorado playing ladies who are in the mixed division. So this was a real club affair. They've got the whole gang here.
So the Colorado club. It's all the pieces are being put together now. Oh, what a great cut-up line. Kathy Meisel, the Austrian, Belgian, French, non-import, regular player. There's so many great pickups on this team, but she's one that when I watched her play for Mantis in Wroclaw 3 years ago, she dominated that team playing with Silke Delefortre and Thurman. And I was calling her the missile because she was just jacking bombs the whole time. And I think she gets understated with other addition play, like with Robin Fenning and Paula Bass and Inez Bringel and these Eurostars. And she gets understated, but she is a massive addition to this team.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like you say, the celebrity factor is not quite at the same level. However, I think she could easily, if she put a bid in to appear on some of those, all-star type teams, I think she'd be a shoo-in.
You got to be in it to win it. So we have talked about Yaka a fair bit, and we need to know a little bit more about Heidelbärchen, but we do need to return to your previously posed question, Hannah.
We do.
And I'm not even sure I've got an answer, so I don't know why I'm prompting this. But we're going to start with Rico and put him on the spot. But Rico, your favorite aspect, was thing the word you used? Your favorite thing about Yaka?
The longevity, I guess. I started Ultimate 10 years ago. I was in Bruges at this tournament, and this is the first time that I saw Yaka, and here they are again, maybe playing for gold, and I think that's amazing. Being 10 years at this level, it's amazing. Not a few teams can tell us that.
And what shirt did you have on your back 10 years ago?
Jack, of course.
For the viewers, I know.
Yeah,
good. And so while we're all catching up on Yaka, why I love Yaka the most is because so many of them have become Patreon members, and they have supported so well the ULTI.TV program. They support our network, they support our community, they share, they become members themselves, And I only imagine if everyone can get on board with what Yaka's doing, follow their lead, be like Yaka, and become a Patreon, and just imagine what we can do with this ULTI.TV network because of that. So we're back into play. Second half action, 3-7 or 3-8, and Yaka receiving.
Indeed. Nice spread from the Yaka offense, really maintaining their discipline, spacing each other nicely against this Heidelbärchen zone. Delaval, no, say that, Le Bon, or Nanu, as her nickname it is. Nice punch through in the middle, Meisel to Bringel. Bringel, the feisty Portuguese player. Mon Dieu. Far side, Nanu. Move it up. Just playing really nice small ball ultimate here. Very patient. Heidelbärchen doing a great job of containment as we sit surveying options. A match. Oh, and a miscommunication, but it's going to be redeemed by the legs of Chassignon, I think that is.
Alexia Chassignon pops in the goal there, or on the receiving end. Yaka continue their scoring ways here in the second half, opening up on offense. A nice little treat after they dominate the first half. They receive, and they keep the wheels turning here. As we say that, I mean, you look at the top half of this women's division, and okay, defending champions, shout, they're a force to be reckoned with. They've got their pickups too. They've got a little bit of an extended version of their team. They've got a super strong core.
But they're missing so many pieces of that core. You think the broken foot of oh no, her name's stripped out of my mind. Who is the most shout person you know?
Well, Farolfi?
Yeah.
She broke her foot?
She's broken her foot. She's not playing.
Today?
No. A couple of weeks ago, she's broken her foot. She went to get an assessment for it. They gave her an MRI, an X-ray. She's not playing this weekend.
Ooh.
And she is such a talismanic presence. At GER in 2019, when she was out, when she was injured, suddenly they didn't quite have it.
And you remember GER in 2019 when her and Anna Chesky took over that game against Germany. They were down 14-11, scored 4 in a row and won that game.
Precisely. And then they didn't have her in the latter stages, and they didn't advance to the final. It was a whole thing. It was like, that was the best thing about that tournament, that women's division in the top bracket. Just saying. We won't talk about the less good things at GER 2019.
Zoltan.
Exactly. So, Gordillo to Müller. Just great pressure from Yaka. You can see they're just letting them have their swings nice and easy. They know that's not a danger zone. And that is a shot of a put. Just sails past Amelie Mora.
And this, their arrowhead, their flat front, their huck stopping defense, just very good looking. They're really taking away any passes up the middle. They're making them go to the sidelines, and they're tight on them on the sidelines.
Delaval pops it up the sideline. Dabin. Knudsen there. Rika. I think that is. Nice pop over the top. It's because Rika was training in her... She was warming up in her Danish shorts. She's actually originally from Denmark. I think she's moved back there at the moment. One of the international contingents of this Yaka side. Oh, and it's a nice high put. Davan trying to run it down. That's going to be just inbounds, perhaps, but nope. Just immediately throws the disc to the floor. Good call. Great spirit.
That was Knudsen, Danish, so she's another external player, external, internal. What's her original club? Either of you two know where Knudsen, we know Denmark, but do we know her club?
You're testing my ultimate knowledge now, and I'm pulling a large blank as we see Anja Fulbert pull the disc out of the sky. Gordillo.
And they've gone right back to their defense with their huck stop front.
Absolutely. It's like they forced them into the hucks early in the game, and now which is giving them pretty much next to nothing. But it's good to see that Heidelbärchen's heads haven't dropped. They came into this game with fairly realistic expectations, but what on earth was that? Gordillo almost getting the catch off of the hand block of Knudsen.
Great switching behind the disc there. Chassignon and Robin Fennig handing off players, making sure, like, there was really nothing. No ins, no deeps, everything was covered.
It's a dreamy back of your zone because they're such good handlers as well. And we see a 4-pass score for Yaka, making easy work of this Heidelbärchen team.
So, talking about the top of this division again, as Yaka starts to roll away with this. So we've got Shout, who have a prominent history in Farolfi, but they're still the champs. They're 2-time champs. Yaka knows them well. A couple players won their first. A couple Yaka players won that first championship with them. And then I keep hearing news about Jinx, who I don't know the result about yet. But that German team is a team that seems to be rolling. I know Frisbee, and that's why I asked. The Frisbee's got a small roster, but they've got some really hot players on that team too. And when we get outside of those 3 and then 4, for me, I feel like they are where we call the cream of the crop. They're a step ahead of the rest. Hannah, is there anybody I'm missing?
That's a good question. I'm going to think on it.
Have a good think on it. Rico, your knowledge of the women's division, does it go much deeper than Yaka?
Not much, but I know they played Fab and Cusp in a tournament, and they won. Both teams won a few games against each other, so I guess maybe Fab is also a team to consider.
All right. That said, I think Shout demolished Fab earlier today.
Oh, that's a lot of contact there but a fair fight between Olga Chinina and. I tell you what, these Heidelbärchen jerseys are super hard to read. These tiny little numbers in these very jazzy shirts. But fair fight.
If we're talking, you want to talk fashion? You want to talk fashion? Is that what we're doing here? We're
yeah,
talking a little bit of fashion?
A little bit of fashion.
Horrible
fashion
kids. Come on, Heidelbärchen. Enough of keep it simple. Your jerseys look as good as that backhand from Rasta just looked. We know she's better than that, but that was not one of her favorites.
I'm going to put it out there. I think it's the shirts. The shirts confused Aline. She didn't know what was going on. Rasta just threw that hook because she was confused by Heidelbärchen's crazy shirts.
She fell into a psychedelic snap there.
Well,
looking at the sleeves.
I don't mind the psychedelic sleeves. It looks a little bit like the college team formerly known as Psycho, who were national champions not too long ago. Very nice. I like the tie-dye effect, but the tiny numbers, not a big fan. Oh, it's a risky biscuit for Heidelbärchen, and it doesn't quite come off. Well read. Perfect position, but just spaffed the catch.
She spaffed it all right. She just let that one hit her right in the collarbone rather than clapping her hands on it. And it bounces off and gives Yaka another possession here.
Yeah, it looks like Feldhan, I think, with the missed opportunity for another goal. Oh, that's a beautiful visionary throw out into the space for Janina. High one for Mondiaux. Not the biggest player in the world. Quite easy to overthrow her.
Yeah, don't let Rasta throw bombs, hammers, big backhands, but don't give her the high ones like that. Eva Müller.
Oh, a visionary throw, but it's going to fade far too far away from the intended target. But hey, I'm loving seeing Heidelbärchen taking this game by the scruff of the neck and giving it a good shake.
And while we get a little walk away, I want to have a shout out to one of my favorites. One of our captains just had to leave today. We lost our captain for the weekend, François Zuber, because his wife is having a baby. So he did have to run away. So to Francois and Lucy, best of luck and hopefully congratulations soon. But bisous, bisous. We send our best to you from Bruges. We miss you, but obviously support very much your delivery and the coming of your child.
Yes, ultimate star of the future, I am sure, with parents like that. But nice work from Yaka. Oh, double catch there on the far sideline. That's what you got to do. Could keep your eyes on the prize. Oh, and a little cheeky hammer over the top. It wasn't even conservation of greatness. It all worked perfectly. Becque. Back to Mondiaux.
Oh, big wind up.
Yeah, safely holstered though. Looks to the around break, shoots to the inside. Oh, that was a battle. Janina really had to come in for that one, but it's a score for Yaka. They get away with it.
They are on the move here. 11-3. They're having their way. Bruges is a nice place for it. Hosts Noisy-le-Sec very well, it seems. Have you been to Bruges many times? So you were here 10 years ago. How many other times have you made it to Bruges? You've had a couple Tom's tourneys, I guess?
Yeah, I guess I made like pretty much 5 times tourney. It's always a great tournament. I mean, the games are a bit short to train really, but it's always nice to come here. I almost won one time, but we lost against Frisbee, the home team. They had the crowd for them. So.
And we saw some home field advantage this morning as well, with Mooncatchers beat a
La
team.
Foot. Never mind.
Spoilers.
Mooncatchers had a big win on the stream. I won't say anything else.
Yeah. They had a big one on the stream. Just saying.
Just check who's on the stream first game, and you'll find out.
Yeah. I know I gave the spoiler away. I shouldn't really say anything. But in terms of shout-outs, though, also shout-out to the comment giving us the information, all of the facts. Knudsen from Copenhagen Hucks. Thank you, Lei Mangubat.
As the big one hangs up. Ooh, Knudsen with a second effort couldn't get it, but a well-contested play. 2 Yaka defenders there made it. That would have been a heck of a play to come down with.
Absolutely. Fennig looking us underway. Again, really enjoying the spacing of this Yaka team. They're nice and far away from each other, giving themselves opportunities all over the field. And isolations like that in the end zone for another easy goal, and we are 3 points shy if Yaka can continue this lead of uncontested second half.
They are just dominating. Again, okay, Robin Fennig opens up that big laser backhand. But Meisel, I'm going to give her another shout out here. She saw it, she stepped back under, came to it, took it with 2 hands, and then a no hesitation throw for score. Just came back to the disc, took it with heavy hands, and then the finesse. So she showed some strong hands, she showed some soft hands, all in the matter of 1 second space there.
So, we spoke earlier about the fact that the first game for Yaka, they were well ahead. They thought they should have won the game 15-5 against Box from Vienna. So we're currently at 12-3. Do you think Yaka are going to learn the lesson and keep completely focused and have no errors and continue to just steam iron their way through the Heidelbärchen defense? Or do you think we're going to have the same thing, we're going to have a little bit of a drop of focus?
I think they get down a little bit at the end of the first half, but now we can see they want to score every point. They are really focused on the game, and I think they want to go all the way, maybe 15-3. That's my guess.
I think I have to agree with Eric here. There's 2 things. One, yes, I think Yaka is that focused. They've got they're driving downhill. Nothing's going to get in their way. But I also think that they've hit the off switch over there in Heidelbärchen land, and their heads are down. They realize there's not much they can do, and the resistance is futile. They're waiting. They're taking their time for the unders. They're not coming. And they're putting up hopes every time. And maybe a hope will pay off for one, but that's about all I think they're going to get.
So they're no longer players from Heidelberg, they're the Heidelborg. Resistance is futile.
The Borg. Resistance is futile.
I would disagree, though. I'm going to be contrarian because it's a thing of Heidelbärchen, at this point, they have nothing to lose. So they have been in the past couple of points. Obviously, it's not been working out for them, sadly, but they have been trying some things. They have been trying to go, throw a couple of bigger throws, but with someone actually chasing them down. It's just a case of they're not anywhere near as well drilled as Yaka. But I reckon they could maybe do something fun, be a bit ballsy, and put another point on the board.
I love your optimism, Hannah. But I don't love that opinion that much.
But I don't know if they broke one time the O-line Yaka.
No, but you're saying they're not going to have any scores. And this is the D-line that's going to have to come out for Yaka every time. So we're not talking about breaking the O-line. We're just talking about getting one on the board.
One hold.
That was the marker.
one more hold is what Hannah thinks they've got at least. I say they got at least one more.
One. Yeah.
Rico likes Yaka to steamroll their way through here.
Fulbert there, captaining of this Heidelbärchen side. See their hesitation there. Could have gone for the give-go, but waits for the handler to pop through. But still able to work it around the back. Okay enough.
A nice looking zone here. I thought it was a zone front again, but it's a full. There's a full zone in the back, and that one gets over everybody. And this is what Hannah's talking about. It's there. The deep is too much laser on it.
Oh, but she was so close to that. That was maybe like one palm's distance away from her hand. But that's the thing. They're taking those options. They're having a go at it. They're saying, actually, Yaka, you know what? We're not that scared.
I'll show you.
That's how you have to do it.
I'll show you my resistance is not futile.
But I'm not sure with that big of a hack, do they have the legs to catch that disc? I'm not sure.
It wasn't that far in front, though. Like, it wasn't like miles out. That was like half a second later on the throw. That's a goal.
A little more shape on the throw. That's a goal, I think. Oh.
Yeah, one of the two. I used to play with a player by the name of Kelly Martin, who on my women's team, we had a rule. She had to count to 3 before she was allowed to throw the huck. Every time.
Australian?
No.
Okay.
It's British.
I know Kelly Martin and married Kelly Brown, who was a gun player who loved hockey as well. Crazy.
It's just maybe something about the name Kelly, you know? Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly, 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 Kelly.
But Heidelbärchen now again. Oh my goodness, that was absolutely ludicrous. Bringel with a layout block.
Did she lay out through her legs? It was like a little under-over game there. Are you playing kindergarten?
Either way, look at the respect being shown to this Heidelbärchen team. Yaka not taking the foot off the pedal whatsoever, and we are now 13-3.
13-3, they continue to roll.
When you see that, it's really a smack on the head. When you have layout like that, it's really hard to come back from that. You know that.
Oh, personally, yeah, you've been rinsed.
They're and that like you say, Hannah, like they're not going away. They're laying out like this with a 10-point lead, and they're still giving nothing away. It's great to see that focus. It's great to see that they want to close this game out, and it's a little bit of a championship mentality, and that's obviously what they're gunning for here.
Well, I was chatting to their coach, Alexandre, before the game, and he was saying, you know, no matter what the level of the team, because I was asking, you know, are they going to try different things? Are they going to, like, work on some of the things maybe for the later stage of the game? This is maybe being a sandbox opportunity. And he was like, no, we're going to come out, we're going to play really hard, because it's really important to respect your opposition and actually play hard to the very last, because this is a golden opportunity for Heidelbärchen to play against one of the best teams in Europe. Some of the best players they'll ever face.
And they used to play like low-level team in France, so every championship is like that for them. So they used to do that.
Play to the level of your team, not to the level of your opponent.
Very important. Very important. So with the disc, hustling, looking for the unders. Oh, and that is a spicy flick put, but that is going to be read much better by the defense than the offense. Came in too hard, bit on it. I think it was going to come in shorter. Nice high grab from Fennig. It's going to pop it straight forward. Oh, striking into the end zone. Here's Meisel. Oh, and that is just bish, bash, bosh. I love Robin Fennig's throws, especially when she doesn't even think about it. It's just instinct. It's pure reaction, and you got to be ready.
I love your commentary when you say bish, bash, bosh when we get a little bit of quick action like that. But I agree with you as well that around there, she caught it on her forehand side, pivoted while winding it up, and by the time the pivot foot landed, she was already throwing that big outside in around. It was a thing of beauty.
For realsies, and you've got to be ready for it, because we actually saw earlier in the game with Daman, it was that sort of, you know, two players chasing down a huck. Fennig gets it, and she, without hesitation, popped it out, and it was just that little bit too soon. Maybe Daban had taken a little bit off the thing. Okay, thinking I'm maybe going to have to like change my direction. So it's spicy. Not everybody plays like that.
Okay, so Rico, potentially the last point of the game here. Your sister's out there. Tell the world of Ultimate something about your sister. Nothing too embarrassing, but tell us something about your sister when she was young. Something silly about your sister.
it's gonna be about me. I guess we were fighting a lot when we were young, and she always wanted to fight rough with me. And 2 times I sent, or maybe 3 times, I sent her to the hospital because she smacked her head on the floor.
Oh, horrible big brother. I did the same to my young sister. And I love her more than anything, as I know you love your sister too. But young brothers, sometimes we've had problems.
So wait, you're younger brothers?
I am an older brother. I think you're...
Yeah, I'm the older brother, yeah.
Ah,
I have 3 sisters, actually.
and I'm the little sister. So I'm the one that, you know, I relate with the lead there.
Were you subject to a beating or two?
Oh, so many hands trapped in car doors and big wooden doors. And we just got to the point where I never went to the accident emergency room. I just knew the hand wasn't broken because I could still move it fine. So
you knew the medical protocol.
Exactly. By that point, you know the score. And the score in this game is a big deficit for Heidelbärchen, who really are trying everything within their power to try and knock on a door and put another one on the board.
I'm going to win my money.
Rico thinks this is it. He thinks he's going to walk it in.
Wait.
Unfortunately, there's no money on this.
Yeah, just so we're clear.
It's just pride you win. But maybe not, Eric. Maybe not, Rico.
Heidelbärchen got my back, man. They got my back.
That's well known. I'm a bit cocky.
That is very well
surely
known.
Not. But
I like to say confident, Eric, not cocky.
But a complete miscue from Heidelbärchen is going to put the hands in the disc in the hands of Nanu. Mon Dieu. Has a player streaking deep, decides not to take it. Shockingly. Inside to Nanu. Foldback trying to lay out to prevent the pass. Really enjoying the American-style Tokai cleats with this Yaka uniform. Oh, it's a bit of a put it in hope. Well run down by Chinina, who's going to put a beautiful flick to the roll curve. Far side, and just about. What a score to finish us off. I stand corrected. Heidelbärchen couldn't punch another one into the scorecard. However, they did really nearly get it, and you've got to credit them.
You've got to give them credit. They did not take their foot off the gas, but this Yaka team was just too strong of an outfit today. Heidelbärchen gave everything. They threw the kitchen sink out, if that's the way we put it. They did everything they had, but they could not get past the Yaka defense. And Yaka's conversions in that second half were seamless.
Absolutely, a perfect scoreboard for the second half for Yaka. But yeah, you could tell Heidelbärchen missing a couple of those key pieces. We were playing with Colorado here, but good luck to Colorado. Hopefully, that's been a good decision to make. Hopefully they go well in the mixed division. But it's been a pleasure to have Heidelbärchen on the stream. And that's it for today, lads and lasses, folks, ultimate fans around the world. What are you most looking forward to? Any games that have caught your eye for tomorrow, Stefan?
Well, it's tough. This is my first time at a European Championship as a squad member. I'm coaching, of course, not a commentator. So I normally have my finger on the pulse and I look at the best matchups and the top matchups. But for me, there is no good games are the only ones that matter to me. Tomorrow we are in the power pool and we have our crossovers. I imagine against KFK and Red Bulls, but I got to check results. So those ones are the most exciting for me, and I think that's the only way I can put it right now. As we have a little look at some of the stream games. Okay, well, I mean, the catch up KFUM. Okay, but
Wait, come on. I've got them. I literally pulled them up in front of you. Be here for Shout versus Valkyria. Field 2. We have 2 fields streaming all day tomorrow. So get your butts in front of a device of some kind that can live stream YouTube to you. Shout versus Valkyria and Pool WA. That is going to be a heck of a game. Perhaps a preview of one of the late stage games of the tournament. Who knows? But that's going to be beautiful.
We did catch a quick glimpse of Valkyria playing right before us. They destroyed Terrible Monkeys from Czech Republic. That was 14-8, I believe, maybe 9 in the end, but they looked very strong. Sarah Eklund, of course, anchoring that team. She puts the legs in, a great speed player. She gets up and down the pitch very well. So she will provide some resistance for this Shout outfit.
And for the Heidelbärchen fans who want to see some Colorado action in the mixed division, they'll be playing in this game slot tomorrow on this field, Field 3 versus GER. But we have so much to offer you. Get yourselves to ULTI.TV's social media. We'll be posting out all of the fixtures that we have coming up here tomorrow. Remember to become a Patreon so we can bring you higher quality Wi-Fi, so there's no weird buffering on your streams. We can have fewer technical problems and just give Milan a little bit of love. He's working tirelessly. Thank you so much to all of our crew for today. I've been Hannah Pendlebury. For Stefan Rapazzo and Rico Becker, it's been a pleasure to have you, and we will see you tomorrow.
Welcome to the machine.
ULTI.TV.